All right. Well, good morning, Mason. Welcome everyone to our April edition of Good Morning Mason. And I really fell for it this year. Thought the weather might be a touch warmer than it is, but here we are, such as Michigan, I suppose. For those of you who have not joined us for our virtual sessions here before, it's a little bit different, obviously, than how we used to do it in person. Looking forward to the day when we get back together in person again, hopefully soon. But until then, boy, this really has been a tremendous way for everybody to get together, get the information for our community, and try and keep this piece of life as close to normal as possible. Our agenda today, I'm not sure how many people can actually see the agenda or not, but it follows just like normal. We allocate about 2 minutes worth of speaking time to each of our speakers, with the exception of our sponsors, our co-sponsors today. Sponsored as always by Dart Bank, but also generously by Fox 47 today. And we allow a couple extra minutes of time there for our sponsors to speak. And I'm going to introduce Gary Baxter this morning, who's going to go ahead and introduce our keynote speaker for today. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you having us on. It has been an absolute amazing 114 days at Fox 47. We reintroduced Fox 47 News and introduced our In Your Neighborhood brand. So I don't want to take up any time, but I do want to thank Christine Mitchell from the Fox 47 sales team for pulling this together. I've been at the station for 22 years, and it has been one of the most exciting rides I've seen us have before. So I would like to introduce, though, Mason's neighborhood reporter, and I'm going to share my screen and put her on the spot with a big old grinning smile. If I can introduce Lauren Shields to you all. Lauren is the Mason neighborhood reporter. Lauren, take it away.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. Like Gary said, my name is Lauren Shields. I'm the reporter for Mason. I also just moved to Mason about a month ago, so I'm also a Mason resident. So Gary kind of went into it a little bit. Gary, do you want to go to the next slide for me? About what we're trying to do here with Fox 47 News. Perfect. So the concept is in your neighborhood, and it's supposed to help news be a little more localized, a little more personal, a little more in-depth. So many of you remember the days of the newspaper beat reporter, a reporter who was assigned a topic, an area, and became an expert. So it was not just surface level reporting, but in-depth reporting. So as news organizations got smaller and smaller, beat reporters were largely abandoned, but viewers have been telling us what they want from local news, which is more in-depth coverage, more positive community news, and reporters with more expertise. So that's why we decided we have an amazing group of multimedia journalists, and each of us has our own little designated area. So Gary, could you go back to my first slide for me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. If you have any story ideas ever, please do not hesitate to reach out. My goal in being on this meeting and just in general is to get to know all of you. If you have a story to tell, I want to know you. I want you to have a place to go to. If you have a story, a person to go to, and that's my cell phone number, and that is my email. So if you have anything, I'm also looking for a story idea today. So if you have any story ideas, please feel free to, like I said, email me or text me or call me.
Look at that. We did something in less than 5 minutes. I'm impressed.
I talk fast.
That's great. Lauren, thank you very much. I'm just going to put up on the screen as well, folks. We have 13 reporters for a market the size of Lansing and Jackson. That's unheard of. Nearly double our competitors, more reporters than the Lansing State Journal, more reporters than most news organizations in cities twice our size. So we are serious about getting to know you. So when the opportunity arises, please give us a chance to tell your story. That's exactly what we want to get out of this. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back to the team and just thank you all again for allowing Fox 47 to be as speakers today.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Lauren. I really like the concept of what you're doing there. So I'm excited to see it work for us.
Excellent.
We'll go ahead and keep moving through our agenda here. And we've got some chamber updates from Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, John. A huge thank you this morning to Dart Bank for sponsoring another year of Good Morning Mason. And of course, for loaning us John as our MC. Dart Bank is a longtime supporter and sponsor of the Mason Area Chamber. And we have honestly grown to love all of the representatives that volunteer their time for us. Thank you also to Fox 47 News, to Lauren and Gary, our event sponsors this morning. And once again, Paul with Uno Deuce Multimedia, our production sponsors, making us look better and better every single time. So thank you for that. Most important on my agenda to talk about today is Sunday, May 2nd. We will host a socially distanced sprinkling experience. This is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and sprinkling is typically held around the courthouse square. However, we will be located at the Ingham County Fairgrounds this year. This event is presented by Howard Hanna Real Estate Executives and co-hosted by Michigan Barnwood and Salvage. Our 130 vendors, to include chamber members, local artisans and business organizations, will feature their goods and services along each side of the fairway. The Ingham County Fairgrounds is considered an outdoor recreational facility, and according to the recent executive orders, must not exceed 1,000 people. The chamber will count people in and out to ensure that we do not exceed that 1,000 people. Everyone must wear a mask at all times. This includes our staff, volunteers, vendors, and our visitors. And this order will carry us through May 24th, it sounds like. And so that has helped to guide our board of directors with each and every consideration made in the planning process for this event. We understand the gravity of what we have all been through this past year. And for that reason, we're looking forward to hosting the event to benefit 130 small businesses. The Mason Chamber has been proud to be a part of local efforts such as gift certificate incentive programs here in Mason to support a lot of our local brick and mortar businesses. Our sprinkling vendors are just as important, and they have felt the major impact of the global pandemic, just like everyone else. With the cancellation of event after event. So this is a big one for them. And I can't tell you the number that are excited to show up and sell some of their goods they've had prepared. What you can expect. Shoppers can enter the fairgrounds from Ash Street. Admission and parking are free to everyone. Visitors will be met at the entrance by chamber staff and volunteers who will hand out free shopping totes. These totes will be filled with information, coupons, and 2 free tickets to the Ingham County Fair this summer. Thank you to the fairgrounds for that. Our vendors will line each side of the fairway and provide a fun shopping experience for everyone. This kid-friendly event will also have fun activities for young children, so we encourage you to mask up and spend the day in Mason. There will not be any food on site. Food sold from our vendors will be prepackaged and sealed. There is a no sampling policy. Lastly, I wanted to mention that we will be selling raffle tickets at Spring Fling from the chamber this year in the chamber booth. Tickets are $5 a piece with a all cash grand prize of $1,500. A second place cash prize of $200, third place $100 cash prize. So I encourage you to stop by the chamber booth and purchase your tickets there. We will also be pre-selling to members. So if you're interested, please contact chamber staff. And so just in closing, I can reassure you that it will be a very safe and socially distanced event. It is going to happen and it's going to be beautiful weather. And you'll see a lot of smiles. There will be smiles on a lot of people that day on Sunday, May 2nd, including mine. So we hope to see you all there. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Sarah. So prepackaged food from the vendors, it sounds like, right?
Yes,
All right.
prepackaged and sealed. Yes.
All right. I hope the licorice guy is there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. So I got a little worried when he said no food, but if it's prepackaged, I think the licorice guy can pull it off.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And moving right along then. Public schools, Mr. Javisky, are you with us here today?
Yes, I am, John. Can everyone hear me? All right. Well, good morning, Mason.
Morning.
Morning. I'd like to thank Fox 47 for sponsoring today's Good Morning Mason and welcome Lauren to the Mason community. A couple updates from the school district. Actually, my part of in this is going to be short. We do have the Mason Promise Scholarship induction. We're going to be inducting our next class on Wednesday, May 12th. So we're really excited about that. Continuing the Promise Scholarship program. And also the Mason Public School Foundation virtual 5K is next week, Friday. And I know probably Melissa's going to share a little bit more about that in a moment. But one thing we are kicking off is what we believe is a very exciting summer school learning experience. It's going to be called our Level Up Summer Learning Program. You're going to hear a lot about Level Up in the next couple of weeks and certainly throughout next school year. And so I'm going to turn it over to Laura Colligan, the director of Level Up Summer Program, who's going to share some more details about what we've got planned for this summer. So Laura, can you take it?
And I love that. Thank you for being here, and thank you for always partnering with Mason Public Schools. I'm here to just work to be stronger, smarter, and safer together as we work with our summer programming. So just to give you a little background, I lived in Holt for many years, and I worked with Mason Schools the last several years, and I worked at Ingham Intermediate School District for the last 7. So I've recently just moved to Howell. So little change of scenery, but it's great to be back with Mason. Let me just share a little bit about Level Up. As you know, education has really been impacted by COVID-19 and having kids being virtual and in session in person. So we're trying to do a mixture of that for our summer programming. And our vision this year is make your summer count. Catch up, speed up, or get ahead with Level Up enrichment programs. So we are trying to create, or we are creating, a kind of camp-like experience half day for our K-8 students at Mason Public Schools. We're going to be following all the guidelines. We're going to be incorporating STEM and STEAM activities. And what I really wanted to share with you guys today is we really want to partner with the community. I know that Ron and Mason Public Schools have shared that many members of the community have reached out and asked, how can we support? What can we do? So in the next few weeks, we'll be reaching out asking for guest speakers. So if you're in an industry or a business that can, going along with our theme-based camp-like setting, we might ask you to come and speak about what your day is like, or how that, what impacts the community, or just, just to come in and get to know the kids. So we're really looking for partners in that aspect. And one of the great things, hopefully with COVID and everything that's happening, we're going to have a end of summer celebration. It's going to be the second week in August, and just celebrate learning. What did the kids learn over the summer? What can the community share? We really want to be community based. So when you guys were talking about your spring fling, I really want to have on Mondays and Fridays are their virtual days. I would like them to become like a tourist of their own town. So thinking about things that they might go visit on those 2 days with their families. Of course, the fair may be one of those, but maybe, a dairy farm or one of your businesses, or some things that way, so that they can kind of get out with family activities and enrich the community. It's going to be 8 weeks. We are going to be running it from about 8 to noon for those 8 weeks. Some families feel like that might be too much, so we're going to be offering it in 2 4-week sessions. They will be in the morning. The best thing about COVID, I feel like, is we're able to provide free food for both breakfast and lunch. So all students will be able to have the opportunity to eat there. And they're going to have to-go bags for lunch to take home with their families. And so that part is really exciting for me. We will also be providing transportation, and we're working through with our venues. We really are trying to use some of the parks in Mason, use some of the facilities that just have been renovated that you guys have supported through the bond. So we're just working hard to be stronger, smarter, and safer together in Mason. We appreciate your partnership and look forward to working with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you both. Definitely sounds like better summer school than when I was growing up. So I think you guys are onto something. Okay, Mayor Whipple, some City of Mason news. There you are. Go ahead.
Unmuted myself. All right. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Mason news. There's a few things going on. I don't know how many of you are aware that the city of Mason now is in possession of a new officer called Tamarack. It's our canine officer that we've acquired in the last several weeks. And we have an officer, Hayden Wildfong, who is assigned to the dog. The dog will be living with him and he is its handler. And they have both been through their training. So they're deployed and starting the process of as a team getting to know Mason. And as soon as events will allow, they're going to be making the rounds of service clubs and whatnot to introduce Tamarack to the world and everybody to Tamarack. So if you see one of our officers walking around town with a very impressive looking German Shepherd, that is Officer Tamarack, our canine officer. And unfortunately for Officer Wildfong, I don't think he realizes that no one's ever going to notice him again as long as he's got that dog with him. The city's street projects, it is Michigan, so it's orange barrel season. So you can expect in the next several weeks that you'll see some streets getting torn up. Usually they're done in kind of neighborhood areas. So you may not see it if you don't happen to wander into the area where it's being done, but it's just kind of a thing to let you know that we do a certain number of streets for capital maintenance every single year as a way to stay ahead of things and try to keep our roads from getting bad. Also, if you're a frequent visitor to the Hayho River Walk, especially on the north end up where it meanders along the Sycamore Creek past the cemetery, you should also start seeing here in the next few weeks or probably short term, I hope, some work going on in the creek down there, the Sycamore Creek. The Drain Commissioner has a project going on in the creek and around the creek down in that area. It's a mitigation effort or remediation effort that's being done. It's actually being paid for by a private company in basically payment for them doing something somewhere else so they can offset their issue. And it's the Drain Commissioner has chosen our Sycamore Creek as the place to do that. And lastly, the city of Mason, I just want to make sure everybody's aware that kind of the big thing we're going to be focusing on, other than our wastewater treatment plant and water system, which I hope everybody's aware of the big issues that'll be coming up there, but there'll be more to come, is our parks. We have a park plan that's been put in place. The city council will actually be reviewing that again at our first meeting in June. But if there's any issues that you know of that you think should be addressed with the parks, or especially things in the area of how we should manage the parks, or what we should do to the parks from a capital investments idea, especially Rayner Park, please let me or somebody else from the city council or the city know. Other than that, all is well.
Thank you, Mayor. Orange barrel season. Here we go.
Barrel season.
Okay, Melissa Nay, we've actually got you up for the next two items on the agenda. It looks like some info on the Public Schools Foundation, but also the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. And I always get nervous saying revitalization. That's the biggest word I have to say here this morning. So take it away, Melissa, when you're ready.
Even bigger than Jervisky. Good morning, everyone. I am Melissa and I am with the Greater Lansing Convention and Visitors Bureau. But first off, I'm going to put my Mason Public School Foundation hat on and talk to you a little bit about our virtual 5K. It is coming up next week. We are still have registration open. I will put in the chat the link to register for it. The event we had initially tried to make this a hybrid event, but with rising case numbers and low registration numbers, we moved to all virtual. This is a great way to support our public schools. You know, the schools have gotten some funding misconceptions from the CARES Act, but they are going to need even more funds coming forward, especially with all the technology and new ways of doing things. And that's what our foundation does, is help support our public schools through funds that they normally don't get through the actual education funding through the federal government. So any support that you can give, if you can't run the 5K, you just want to give few dollars to us. This is the only fundraising efforts we have done this year. Next year, we'll go back to hopefully our more traditional fundraising efforts with having the 5K in person as well as our gala, but any support you can have. Commercial Bank is the main sponsor for this event. And then we have a slew of other sponsors that have put money towards the event as well. Registration packet pickup will be on the 28th and 29th at Harvey Center. It'll be drive-through. So you'll get your shirt and any other little tchotchke gift items that have been given to us by our sponsors. So please do what you can to help support our public schools. We need them. They're great. And, you know, I was out there this morning getting my kids' COVID test and run very smoothly. So do what we can to make sure that this little blip in our world doesn't affect our students. And then next off, I'm going to put my Convention Visitors Bureau hat back on. I do want to mention just one thing with our, you know, typically we do our Be a Tourist in Your Own Town event every year, and it is the first Sunday in June or Saturday in June. And this year we have canceled that event, not purely because of COVID, but more for the fact that the attractions in our area offer their services at no cost for Be a Tourist in Your Own Town, and for us to ask them to turn around and allow a bunch of people in for free when they have not even been able to be open, we decided that it's just not something that we want to do this year. So please still go out and support your local attractions, the zoos, the museums. We have some great local attractions here in the Mason area. Do what you can to support those. And then we are going to put some marketing dollars towards helping to get people to come into our region and utilize our wonderful attractions. And the last thing I want to talk about is the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. This is a fund that the federal government passed in the most recent CARES Act. And the SBA put out some new guidelines for that. The application process should be open by the end of this month, possibly into early May, but there is a 21-day grace period on the Restaurant Revitalization for veteran-owned, women-owned, and socially and economically disadvantaged individual business owners. So that's going to be your Asian, Hispanic, any Black minority type owned businesses. So, and they're specifically setting aside $5 billion of the $28.6 billion that they're putting towards going towards these socially and economically diverse disadvantaged businesses. This is free money. It's grant money. It's not anything like the PPP loans where you could possibly have to pay it back. What I am telling and trying to get out to these restaurants, because it's very hard to communicate to restaurants because they don't check email, but making sure that they know about this. So the more people like us that know about this, there's no restaurants on this, but spreading that love out to these restaurants so that they can apply for it is all that needs to happen. It's a very hefty application process. They do have a sample application up on the SBA site. I'll put that information into the chat as well, but it is very important that these restaurants, because it's literally taking your 2019 gross revenue, minusing your 2020 gross revenue, and that's how much you qualify for in the grant. So it's a great thing for these restaurants to help keep them going. So hopefully we can get many of our restaurants here in Michigan to apply for it, because our restaurant industry has really suffered the most compared to some of the other places in the country. And so I feel like we should probably get all $28.9 billion of it, but probably we'll get the fair cut of 5 to 10 billion. So if you have any questions on any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will put my email in the chat as well. So that's all I got. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Melissa. And it's just, it's another reminder that as we kind of move hopefully closer towards the end of all of this, that, there's a lot of businesses out there that are going to need help. And I hope to have a lot of fun bringing them all back. That's going to be a responsibility, I think, for everybody that's able to. So looking forward to that day. Thank you, Melissa. Next, Relay for Life, Mr. Wiskevich.
Thanks, John. And it wouldn't be a Good Morning Mason if you didn't have to introduce Stravinsky and Wiskevich, would it?
And Revitalization.
And Revitalization, yes, it's getting a good start on your day. Well, I'm here to talk about Relay for Life. It's going on again this year, and we've moved the date from a normal Father's Day weekend to September 24th and 25th. Our hopes are that by that time, life will be a little bit more normal. We'll actually be able to do a traditional relay walking around the track at Corrigan Speedway. Have a couple of things we're looking for right now. We're always looking for teams. We're looking for companies that want to put together teams or groups or churches or anything like that. It's a great social event. It's great for the family. It's and it's a lot of fun, and it's to a good cause. We're also looking for team members. So if you're interested in participating, you don't want to put on a team, but you're interested in joining a team, we have plenty of those that are looking for walkers. We have a couple of big events right now coming up. For starters, this weekend, we have a 3-day Mother's Day auction going on. And I'm putting the link is in the chat here. We have a whole host of auction items that are all geared around Mother's Day. So they're perfect gift ideas. And its pickup will be on, I believe it's Tuesday at Dart Bank. So plenty of time for Mother's Day. So check it out at the link. Also, we have a softball tournament that's scheduled for March or May 1st in Mason, and we're looking for teams. We still have some openings. So if you're interested in that, go to Facebook and just search for Home Runs for Hope, and you should find us. In addition, if you go and like our Facebook page, you'll get all the information of all the events, all the fundraisers, all the information about meetings and joining teams and all the cool stuff about Relay. And we'd love to have you join us. It's a great program. We did pretty well last year, despite the whole pandemic thing. And the year has brought some very, very creative ways for people to still fundraise and raise money. So it's a great group of people. I look forward to anybody who's interested in joining. So thanks, John.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll keep moving here with Doug. Always a pleasure to have you here, Doug, and some Lions Club information.
Yeah, we have to be creative in our fundraising also. We have in our Lions Club some traditional fundraisers. We normally sell tickets, or at least take tickets, excuse me, at the MSU football games. That didn't happen. We also operate a poker room every once in a while. That didn't happen. So some of our traditional ways of raising money so that we can give back to the community, that money just didn't happen this past year. So what we've decided to do is we're going to have a special fundraiser for scholarships. We have 2 scholarships at Mason High School, like a lot of our community organizations do. And we also have given money to the Mason Promise Scholarship before in the past. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be selling some barbecue sauce. Now, this just isn't any barbecue sauce. This is Saddleback barbecue sauce. A lot of you may know that Saddleback Barbecue very kindly recently retired the Mason Public Schools lunch debt. And they've done that for several other organizations or several other school districts around the area. And so we decided to partner with them. We're going to be selling their barbecue sauce, which comes in both a red sweet and savory type and a kind of a yellow mustardy type, and for $10 a bottle. And we're going to have that available to you to order online, and I'll put that link in the chat. Also, I'll put the email address for the club as well in the chat. But we're going to be at Spring Fling Show on Sunday, May 2nd, and we'll be passing out our barbecue sauce to the people who've pre-ordered. We'll have a limited amount available for sale right there at the show as well. So we ask you to come out and support your local community and your Mason Lions Club and our scholarships. We have another thing to tell you is May is National Barbecue Month. So you want to stock up on the barbecue sauce, okay? That's $10 a bottle, and click on the links and let me know if there's you have any questions about it. Back to you, John.
The mustard's always my favorite. That stuff's always good. So
it's a Carolina thing, I guess.
I think your marketing background is showing here, Doug, because I don't know, did you have any other Lions Club swag you could fit in the frame, or was that it?
Well, I do have another poster here, but it's a poster that says that on 4th of July, you want to have that cookout in your backyard, like the president said. Don't forget the barbecue sauce.
Got it. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. This one's really exciting to see on the agenda. Sundried Festival. Mr. Clark, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Go ahead.
Who's ready for some outdoor activity and some great local music? I know everybody is. We're working hard and planning. Sun-dried right now. Hopefully, things will allow us to go forward as close to normal as possible. If not, we've come up with contingency plans. We're developing contingency plans so we can adopt, hope, and overcome. And hopefully we will be able to have some kind of an event downtown. Stay tuned for details. We'll be reaching out to everyone because, and as we all know, it's been a tough year for everybody. And fortunately, we're a very conservative group and we've got some money in the bank, but we're still going to need a few sponsors. So we'll be reaching out. And like I said, we look forward to a successful event. And we'll be in touch and keep you updated with our progress.
Wonderful. Thank you, Leon. And next is Sycamore Creek Garden Club. Vicki.
Good morning, Mason. Spring has sprung. You might feel a little bit better next week, but anyway, and today we're celebrating Earth Day, so look for news on that. Garden Club's been very busy already planning our gardening for this summer, and prepping started with the pink schoolhouse. We prepped all the gardens there and put fresh compost on, and did some of the gardens in the youth garden. The museum gardens will be up next, and the Veterans Memorial and Blue Star Memorial and our DDA pots downtown. We'll be working on prepping them and then getting the flowers put in within the next month. So look for those things to happen. The Youth Garden Club is going to have their first meeting in over a year on April 28th. And this is going to be open for any youth, 2nd grade to 6th grade. And it's a great seed to table program. Lots of great speakers, lots of playing in the dirt and producing produce and seeds and everything. The Garden Club is actually working on 3 new projects. One's already in place, and that's working with the seed bank via Capital Area District Library. It's a program where our gardeners have gathered seeds for vegetables and flowers, and they are available for free through the library. You can check that out on the library site. We have a proposal that we hope we can get in place for down home daffodils. We're going to start a project where we'll be planting daffodils around the city of Mason and out Cedar Street eventually, if all goes well. We're starting with Ash Street. Dart Bank has the one side of the street, and we will be planting this fall on the City Hall side of the street. So that'll be our start. And as funds and labor provide, we'll expand from there. Our second new project is we're hoping to install a Gold Star Memorial up at the Veterans Park in Maple Grove. So we hope to be able to put that all together and have a dedication on Gold Star Mother's Day, which is in the end of September. We are going to have a booth May the 2nd on Sunday at Spring Fling. So if you need any more information, we'll have lots of information there on all the things we have going on from youth to adult programs. And we'll have our songbird houses for sale, and anything you want to know about gardening, we will be there. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Vicki. Hopefully this last cold snap hasn't been too harmful to anyone's gardens.
Good.
And hopefully it was the last one. Hopefully this is it. Warmer weather ahead. So, okay, that is bringing us through our agenda. Just a little bit behind schedule here. This format's a little difficult to just open it up for announcements. I haven't had anything chatted to me, but Sarah, is there anything else that we wanted to share this morning?
I just wanted to make a quick note that our Antiques in April in Mason event is still going on through the 30th. This has been a really fun event, very successful. If you stop by any of our 5 antique stores in Mason, you can pick up a passport and a map, and each store will stamp your passport when you stop by to see them. You can turn that completed passport into any of the 5 businesses as well, and that enters you into a drawing for a grand prize worth about $500. A lot of gift certificates, a really fun basket. lots of antique goodies. Families have found this really fun. It's really brought in a lot of people from outside of Mason. So really great for our little town and highlighting, you know, the heart of Mason, which is our antiques. So thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I think this will do it for our April edition then. Thanks everyone once more for joining us this morning. We'll look forward to seeing everybody back in June, and looking forward to maybe, fingers crossed, maybe we'll even have an in-person one here sometime soon here this year still. So thanks everyone once again, and we'll see everyone again soon. Take care.